Most people think the reason they're not taking action is because they don't believe in themselves enough. They say things like, once I really believe I can do this, I'll start. I just need more confidence. But that's not actually how change works, because belief isn't a thought. Belief is a feeling of certainty. And if you're waiting to think your way into certainty, you can stay stuck for months or years, constantly learning, preparing, and waiting for a feeling that never quite arrives. So in this video, I want to simplify this completely. Not motivate you, not hype you, just clarify what actually creates certainty and why waiting for it is the thing keeping you stuck. Here's the key distinction most people miss. When people say they believe they can succeed, what they usually mean is that they agree with the idea. It makes sense logically. They can see how it could work. But agreement doesn't move behavior. You can fully agree with something and still hesitate, still delay, still avoid the action. Because belief in the way it affects behavior isn't cognitive. It's a felt sense of certainty in the body. Until that feeling is present, your nervous system treats action as risky, premature, or unnecessary. Now here's where people get trapped. Most people try to get certainty from the outside first. More training, more information, more reassurance, more encouragement, or eventually, results. And when results finally show up, certainty appears. Confidence rises, action feels easier. That loop works, but only if you're already acting. If you delay action, you never get the result. If you never get the result, you never get certainty. So you go back to learning, waiting, and second guessing. From the outside, it looks like procrastination. Internally, it's something else. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're just waiting for certainty to arrive before you move. Most people treat certainty like a ticket, something you need before you're allowed to proceed. But certainty is more like a receipt. It confirms something that's already been emotionally processed. Waiting for certainty before you act is like asking for a receipt before you've paid. Nothing happens because the sequence is backwards. Neuroscience explains why this doesn't work. The brain does not update belief through logic or positive thinking. It updates belief through emotionally weighted experience. That's why a dream can feel real while it's happening. Why anxiety can show up even when nothing dangerous is happening. And why visualization only works when it's emotionally felt, not just mentally imagined. The subconscious doesn't respond to ideas. It responds to experience. There are only two ways certainty is actually built. One is external evidence, experience, results, proof over time. The other is internal evidence, emotionally convincing internal experience. What doesn't work is passive waiting, waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting for belief to arrive. That feeling does not arrive on its own. There's a Zen story about an archer who keeps adjusting his stance, checking his grip, waiting for the perfect moment to release the arrow. Eventually, the teacher stops him and says, "You'll never think you're ready. Release is what teaches the body." Certainty doesn't come from waiting longer. It comes from experience, internal or external. So here's the practical reframe. Instead of asking, "Do I believe I can do this?" ask a different question. What would certainty feel like in my body if this were already happening? Not excitement, not hype, not pressure. Certainty is actually quieter than that, more grounded, more settled, more steady. And you don't need a massive feeling. Even 10 seconds of that felt sense gives your subconscious new evidence. Don't act to get certainty. Act from the smallest amount of certainty that you can access. Send one message. Take one step you've been postponing. Not to prove anything, but to reinforce what you already felt. That's how the loop flips. Instead of waiting for belief, then acting, then hoping for results, you generate a small internal certainty. Take aligned action and belief grows naturally. Think of certainty like a thermostat. Most people wait for the room to warm up before adjusting the setting, but the thermostat comes first. The environment follows. Internal certainty sets the direction. External results catch up later. If you're realizing right now, I've been waiting for belief my entire life, that's not a problem. That's awareness. And awareness is the first lever of change. If you want clarity on what's actually shaping your progress right now, not just belief or certainty, but your inner alignment, habits, and subconscious patterns, that's exactly what the mind control assessment is designed to reveal. It's a diagnostic tool that helps you see how your subconscious programming is influencing your actions, your follow-through, and your potential for success, often in ways you don't consciously notice. And if you want to begin engaging the power of your mind in a more experiential way, not forcing change, not trying to fix anything, then download the Subconscious Academy app. In it, you'll find the Subconscious Starter Kit, which includes a guided hypnosis experience. It's designed to help you connect with a calm, grounded internal space, a kind of mental sanctuary where your nervous system can settle and your mind can begin operating from a place of clarity and alignment. That state becomes a foundation for more intentional thinking, better decision-making, and more aligned action, not by effort, but by changing the internal environment you're operating from. Not hype, not forcing, just guided internal experience. Optimistic thinking doesn't move behavior. Certainty does. And certainty, like alignment, isn't something you wait for. It's something you learn to cultivate from the inside out. Once you understand that, the waiting stops and the results begin. Remember, breakthroughs begin within. Bye for now.